A very good evening to all. I am audible.
Yes,
Yes,
Indra.
madam.
Okay. Shrestha sir, can we start the session? Okay. A very good evening to respected dignitaries and dear participants. I am Dr. Indira Ikshit. Feel privileged to welcome to you all on second day of training program on innovative teaching and learning pedagogies. Dear participants, we are happy to have with us today's guest of honor and today's our expert, Dr. Shrestha Chabra sir. Dr. Shrestha Chabra sir hold a PhD degree in labor welfare. He is he has a teaching experience of 2 decades, wherein he taught at undergraduate, postgraduate, executive programs, PhD coursework level, and guide many research projects. In his present assignment, he is associate professor with Delhi College Business School, Indore. Sir has published in many research papers in national and international journals. Sir is associated as a reviewer with various reputed international journals. Sir also member of editorial board with various international and national reputed journals. He is working as a mentor with Startup India, a government of India platform for the entrepreneurship, and sir also associated with various government organizations. Sir received various academic awards in his field. Sir, welcome you, and I request to you, please come and share your deep knowledge on case study methods for better teaching. Chabra sir.
Thank you, Indra ma'am. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. And I'm very thankful to RFI, obviously, the coordinator, Indra ma'am, Gunjan Shukla ma'am, Ajay sir, and everyone present over here. A very, wish you all a very good evening. I know, that's the spirit of learning, that despite having a hectic day, for the entire day you have been working and you are here to listen to me, you are attending these programs. Let me appreciate every one of you, that this is how probably every one of us progresses. So what I would be doing today with you is that I would be sharing more of my experiential ideas onto case studies, and this is what would be I would be talking about. So my screen is visible, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So what I would be doing is that this is what I would be talking to you largely. I believe most of the people who are attending here are faculty members. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, case study is something which is not new to you. We have been introduced to this even as a student as well. So, I would take this platform more as of a sharing type of a platform or an interactive platform, rather than giving any pravachans to you. I would refrain from doing that. We all are equally knowledgeable. It's just a matter of experience. And that's how I see this. So probably I would like every one of us to be very participative, interactive, so that we learn from each other, and that's how our purpose of being here will be fulfilled. So I start with this idea that we understand that a case study primarily is an idea. I would highlight two understanding. It provides a simulation to the students, of an live working, or a real life condition, that should you be a manager tomorrow, or whatever you would be doing in your respective field, this is what, or these are the likely situations which you may face. So what you would do in such situation. Or there has been, look at this company, this has been successful, look at that company that has not been successful, why that has not been successful, so what you can do better, something like that. So it is primarily meant to provide a simulation and a type of understanding of the real life situation. This is also a way in which we can create a real life situation understanding in the classrooms. And the broader idea, as I told you, that what you would be doing if you would have been in such situation. So you try to make students think over that, okay, this is where the decision making becomes important. And I always tell this thing in the class, that the most crucial you know idea of any management, whether you come from any field of expertise, the most crucial idea is to make a decision. Okay. And a right decision, right time, so all that is invariably true. So the most crucial idea is to take a decision. So, and it's not that easy, because in case studies there are limitations in its own way. So in real life situation you may be knowing some more variables, so in case studies you would be knowing less of variables. The variables are more or less constant, they don't keep changing. um, so, you know but still we want to develop this idea, that what all should you be considering in while taking a decision, or what factors do you need to consider while taking a decisions, and what factors you should not be considering equally, or what factors can be left out from the story, which are not, which are not influencing your decisions. So thereby case study becomes an important idea or important part of student learning. Okay. So these are some of the types of cases. I believe most of you know about it. So I won't like to repeat it. So keep on contributing. Close-ended and open-ended cases. Am I audible? So keep contributing. What is a close-ended case? A close-ended case is something which has got a question answer at the end. To be, to put it very simply. Whereas an open-ended case would be that wherein you have to identify the issues first, and then you have to, you have to identify the problems first, and then you have to write an answer. Most of the open and closed-ended cases, student take them as an unseen passage. If you talk from a student perspective, so most of the student take the closed-ended cases as an unseen passage. They read the question and then try to find out the answers from it. It's okay when we all have been student. Open-ended cases become a bit difficult, because then you need to identify the issue, that and while I would request all the faculties fellow faculties who are listening to me through this program, that please make sure that while trying to help students in identifying the issues in an open-ended cases, please make them clear that how symptoms are different from problems. Okay. So you cannot treat the symptoms, you have to treat the problem. If I feel shivering while I'm getting a fever, this is a symptom. The problem is maybe that I may be infected from malaria or viral or any other such disease. So try them not to cure a symptom, try them to cure a problem. Okay. And then uh, that's where open-ended cases can be and help to you in identifying that how an issue, if correctly identified, or a problem, what we say, that problem understood stands half solved. So this is how a case can help you out. And cases are usually larger in length, whereas caselets are smaller in length. Okay. So it can be very smaller ideas, or they can give you a very pertinent questions, or they can ask you about a very pertinent topic. Like, say I give you an idea to discuss. Okay. Maybe I give you an idea of 3 or 4 lines to discuss. Okay. uh, okay. um, Using office stationery for personal work, is it ethical or non-ethical?
Non-ethical.
Unethical. Okay. Now, having said this, you ask students that you ordered certain stationery. Okay, this is a small case rate that I'm giving to you. You ordered uh, at the start of uh, say a financial year, each of your staff gets a basic stationery, say pen, pencil, eraser, basic list of stationery according to their work. You find that one of your staff members, the new pencil that he has got from the office, two of them he put it in his bag and carried for his children back home. Is it ethical or unethical? Now, this is the entire case. This is the simple case that I'm talking about. Okay. So, caselets can be as simple as this. Okay. So, they can describe a situation. They can think about, you just have to give them few pointers to think that what they would do. So, as a manager, what you are supposed to do in this case, if you've seen that people are taking, say, one of your staff is taking two pencils out of the entire pencil box that you have given to them for the entire year, so he carried two of the pencil for at his home. So I hope you're getting my point. Yes, I hope my point is taken. That caselets
Yes.
can present to you a small idea, a very small idea as to what is that that you should be looking into this. Now, these discussions can go on at a very high length. So please don't be under this impression that only lengthy cases can produce a discussion. Small cases, I can give you a few more examples if you want. That small cases can also generate a good amount of discussion.
तो
Okay.
चलाना हाँ और ये पर्दा
Neeta ma'am,
वहां
I
से ले लो,
believe
लेकिन वहाँ गड्ढे वड्ढे तो नहीं है ज्यादा। ये इसको बंद कर लो ना भैया। हाँ नहीं
Neeta ma'am, if you can please mute your mobile or your audio. Yeah, thank you. Uh, so you can talk about. So I hope my point is taken, that case and caselets. So I would stress that again. It is not the length of the case that can generate the discussion, provided I believe that it's the content of the case as to what the case contains can generate an amount of discussion. Obviously, please understand that I'm not saying that great length cases are of no use. No, they are of absolute use based on what they need to talk about. Okay, so please, while you are selecting a case also for discussion, please make sure that you are picking up it from the content perspective, not from the length perspective. I would be answering these questions further as well. So you can choose between a success and failure stories. To my understanding, failure stories can teach you more as compared to a success story. So if you try and talk to students, if you are teaching, say, entrepreneurship to students, what not to do at times in life is equally important, or rather more important, as to what one should do. Okay, so if you can learn from failures, probably that's how every one of us learns. So this is this is my experience, or this is my choice when dealing with cases in entrepreneurship, that if you can pick up some failure stories, tell the students that how companies have miserably failed in the ventures, and not only smaller companies or startups, but even bigger companies who came up with a new venture have miserably failed, and these are the reason why they have failed. So this is the learning from the story, something like that. So you can pick up functional specific area, like you can pick up cases from HR, finance, marketing, whatever is your functional area, engineering. You can pick it up from different perspective, or you can pick up a very multifunctional comprehensive cases wherein you are talking about strategy making. Usually such cases are used more in strategic management, wherein you find that there is an interplay between of different variables which are taken together. So at that level of maturity, uh, it becomes essential that you teach students that how, and in practical life also, we see that how things interplay their role. See, things do not exist in isolation. So even while you are teaching to them, say, systems approach or something like this to management or anything like that, that how interrelated things work, Such case studies can help you a lot in teaching that, how departmental conflicts, say for example, and if I give you an example, how departmental conflicts can create a worse situation for any business. So in that sense also, you can talk about how we talk about this thing in management, like say line staff relationship. So how line staff relationship get worsened in situations like this. It's not necessary that every situation should be backed up by a case. Okay, it's not necessary. Give them a case only when you feel that it is essential, or a case would give them a better understanding of the situation, of the theory, rather than anything else. So it's always better that, don't try to replace case with a lecture. uh, I'm really sorry to say this. Some of the faculties do this, that they replace a case with a lecture with a case. Please don't do this. Your case should have a meaning attached to it. So irrespective of everything that you are choosing, please make sure that your student understand that yes, this is linked with this, and hence this is the learning that I got from this case. Obviously, we have got a written case. This is the general format. Some of you have dealt with video cases. Again, it can be very, based on a specific course. Have you dealt with video cases? Anyone?
No, sir, not really.
Okay. Uh, Video cases can, let me start from a mega example, and then I would boil down to simpler examples. Uh, in management studies, there are, or in general social sciences studies, there are cases wherein, you can talk to them regarding movies, or you can show them a movie and then describe that movie as a case. Okay. In our course, the course that we teach, we have various, case courses. Okay. We have different case videos which are available to us, and many libraries, they give you access to case videos. uh, in selected libraries, I have seen that they have got a case collection also, a case video collection also. So these are some a type of documentaries, okay, a case documentaries which have been made by various institutions, and then they narrate specific ideas to the listener. So this is an audio visual method of doing it. So that's one part of the thing. Second, many people, have seen that they uses Hollywood and Bollywood movies to talk about, or certain part excerpts which are drawn from Hollywood and Bollywood movies, to show that how, how things act or react in a different thing. The only way of using a video case, I would come to more examples. Say for example, if you are using a Hollywood or a Bollywood movies, okay, so you're trying to show them that, how dedicated things can, what is, like say, I give you one example. We all watch Bollywood songs, yes, or even Bollywood means in any movie songs, yes. Do you watch any video songs?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do so.
Yeah, okay, great. And in a dance sequence, now I am asking you a very specific question. In a dance sequence, you would find that there are extras which dance with a male lead or a female lead. Have you identified, and if not, please try and do that next time. Have you identified two or three? We generally focus on the leads, but have you identified someone from the gathering which is there? Okay, the subordinate staff, which is equally, the co-dancers. Have you try and look at them? You would find out that some of them are so dedicatedly involved in their task, whereas some of them don't only, not only dance well, but they give expressions as well. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir, exactly.
So if not, please observe this. So if you are teaching this to, you're showing that clip, and then you are talking about this thing, that despite of the fact that you may not be, uh, you are given a side role to perform in an organization. If you're doing your task good, someone someday would observe you. Okay. There are famous stories as to how side dancers went on to become the main actors. Okay. I'm not saying that every side dancer or every, the troupe dancer tend to become a main actor if he dances well. No, I'm not saying that. But there are stories that how someone was picked up from a troupe and made the main lead. So there can be various angles. This is just one example. You might have watched many movies. Lagan, for example. Lagan can teach you about leadership. So you can talk about various aspects of various movies. You can use them. The third idea that I want to give you is that at times you find that the cases are very lengthy. So is it possible that can I show some part of the case as a video and some part as a written type of presentation? Okay, so that would generate interest also in my students. For example, I give you an example. I was discussing a case of Godrej Chotu Cool. Okay, that's a small refrigerator which is primarily targeted at rural market or the suburbs. And equally, there is a company which is entrepreneurial venture which is known as Mitti Cool. So the facts and figures, Chotu Cool, there is an advertisement available on Chotu Cool, and then there is a written case, or I picked up certain points to describe Mittu Cool to the students. So I used them in a combination as to how Godrej versus Chotu Cool can develop a strategy, and then we went on to discuss entrepreneurship and many other ideas. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, hey, you must, if you have not, but you can or you may use case studies, especially video case studies, at certain points in certain, say for example, in certain uh, subjects or in certain topics, to talk about certain uh, ideas. Okay, IIMs have been doing it. Even many prestigious institutions either do a documentary or do a Bollywood Hollywood movie. They pick up different types of ideas. You can pick up different clippings and then attach a meaning to that clippings. Okay, that this is what this is what was shown. Like say I was hearing it from an IIM faculty that Pretty Woman is a movie, and there is there is this uh, I believe receptionist, if I remember it right. There is this receptionist, and he showed them this clip from Pretty Woman, and he said that, look at this receptionist. He understands what exactly a customer is looking forward to. Okay, so and then he posed only one question at the end of this entire. Then this, this 15-20 minute clip was shown to them from different parts. That is such a human being, or is such a human resource replaceable in your organization? How you should, what thing you should look into that when you are trying to retain a customer or a human resource. So you can, that's what I'm saying, that you can look out for various ideas, various things from a case study, and make sense to that thing. Okay, there have been songs which has which has been fairly rated high, millions of views, but when they are released as a movie or they are released in a movie, it is not necessary that the movies would equally do good. Okay, so this also becomes a idea that as to how social media functions differently. A trailer which is being a trailer which is super liked, okay, millions of watch, but the movie does not do good. So that's what I'm saying. You can derive different meanings, you can show them various ideas, various examples live. Okay, and say that some brands which have been more than welcomed on social media but did not do well. So what happened? Then you can roll out from that thing. So I hope you're getting my point, that how videos can be used as a part of case studies. Am I clear on this? And then I come to the last part of this thing, and then I would uh, ask you for any question answers till this point. uh, Try this also if you have not tried it earlier, a problem solution type of case. That means a part one and part two of the case. Part one of the case would be more of like, you give them a problem, a usual case study. Okay, let them discuss, let them find out solutions and things like that, and then you present to them the part two, which actually contains the solution as to what the company or the person did. I hope you're getting my point. So part one is the problem in the case, and part two, which is handed to the students after the discussion, it eventually shows to them that to what extent they were, they were onto a right type of a track. Okay, or to what extent they were on in sync with the so-called decisions the management took on. It's not compulsory that the students would only stay back with the decisions that the part two has or part two talks about. No, it's not only meant for that thing that you give them an idea that no, you are wrong, this is the solution that company implemented. No, there can be hundreds of solutions. Creative problem solving, that's what we talk about. We talk about design thinking these days. So creative problem solving may involve other ideas also. Okay? So giving them a solution, if available, not with all case studies which is available. I'm not talking about the teacher's education, the educator's copy. No, I'm talking about there are certain cases which talk about, which are into this part one, part two type of things. So there are cases which offer such type of problem solution combination. Not many, but there are some few of them. So offering them a solution case after the case has been discussed would just give them some guidelines onto their solution parameters. Okay, you can extend this to the third idea. uh, I've experimented it to a certain level only, and let me be very frank on this thing. uh, I took a problem from a real world. Okay, say from an entrepreneur who's struggling to start up his cafe or set up his cafe. Uh, so you tell them one by one that okay, this is the company, or if the entrepreneur do not allows you, please do not disclose the company. Or so this is this is one cafe. They are they're trying to establish themselves in this city. This is what their menu is. The real life in real world. This is their menu. This is what they are offering. This is what they have been doing till this point, and this is the problem that they are facing. So let the students really discuss about what types of problems, what can be the probable solutions. Go back to entrepreneur, connect with him or her, and let him or her listen to the solutions which are given by the students. Let him decide that which is implementable. If he implements certain decisions or certain solutions provided by the students, then come back to the class and talk to them that okay, this is the solution that you had given or you had proposed. This is what was implemented by the entrepreneur, and this is what he got. Or maybe possible, bring the entrepreneur to the class and let him discuss about this idea that this is the problem or this is the solution that that I implemented, and thanks to you, or something like that. And this is the result that we got, or this is how I changed this strategy, something like that. So this is possible in a long run case. All solutions may not be implemented during a semester's time or during a certain time period. If you run on a trimester, then still that's very short period to implement a solution. But if that's what I'm saying, you have to make sure that whatever we are talking about, it's implementable in your case. Okay, so there is no, there are no panaceias. Ramban dawa kuch nahi hoti management mein, that you give one solution that can fit everyone. No, you have to look forward to solutions which can be which can be a thoughtful type of a solution. Let me see that this is way I can engage students more. So something like that. So okay, so I stop here and I would like to ask any questions, anyone till this point. Any questions, anyone?
No, sir, all good.
Okay, great. uh, so we move ahead to the next part of it. So I talk about this idea with you that uh, as I told you in the starting that most of you come from a academic background. Most of you are my faculty fellow colleagues, or I believe almost everyone, all the 114, 113 participants except for me are from the same background of academics. So discussing a case study, I would just share my experiences. The points are there with you. You can obviously ask me any questions on that. The challenge is that the faculty you know uh, faces when it comes to case study discussion. As I told you, I would start from the same thread, the length of the case. uh, Most of us are inclined towards the Ivy League cases, Ivy Business School League cases, the Harvard Business School cases, HBS cases. Have you dealt with any of such cases, Harvard Business School or Ivy League school cases? Has anyone tried it, a Harvard Business School case or an Ivy Business School League case?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Such cases are lengthy in nature. The average length of such cases is around, if I'm not exaggerating, it's uh, someone raised a hand, I believe. Yes, someone has got a doubt. Okay. So, so Harvard length. So I was Harvard Business School cases average length is around not less than 12 pages. So it becomes actually a great challenge for the teacher and for the students. You understand that nobody reads even a message on the WhatsApp which is too long. Okay, in your groups in which we are attached in on an everyday basis on our WhatsApp, people come keep commenting. इतने लंबे message मत भेजा कर यार. Don't write such long message. Nobody reads them. Okay, so things are short. People make it want it very gullible. Tell me what is it. I don't want to read it. So that becomes a great challenge that you want to teach them a Harvard Business School case, and then they are not, uh, either they are not coming prepared with the cases. Even forget about the Harvard. Even for 2 or 3 length pages cases, people would be like, "Arey sir, itni badi case study. Oh, this is the length of case study. How we would read about it?" Okay, so it becomes a problem for a teacher, genuine problem for a teacher that has to what it to be done, because not all cases can be short and sweet types. Okay, you cannot have a caselet given to that thing. There are certain subjects like decision making skills, strategic management, and other subjects which would deal with which would be entirely case based or case focus is essential. So it becomes very critical onto that's what I said. The length of case becomes critical. So what has been your way? Tell me. Have you faced such problems? Has any one of you faced any such problem that you have given the case, but the students are not, or the students haven't come prepared, or something like that? No one has faced such problems? Anyone that you would like to share? And essentially, what did you do then? Okay. If not, let me know. There may be issues that you will not be. It's always better that if we interact. Okay. But nonetheless, see, if we talk about these ideas that the length of case is great. I have experimented 2 or 3 things that I can share with you. One, try and give them, that's what I'm saying. Don't be fascinated by the length of the case. Be fascinated about the content of the case. Okay. At times, what I've done is that I've cut short the cases. I've picked up material from the cases. I've pasted it onto a new paper, made a new case copy, and then given it to students, which is comparatively less lengthy. So that is way number one. Way number two, which I have practiced or I have experimented, is that when if I am giving a bigger case study or a large, a lengthy case study, then I give it usually in groups, rather than an individual. See, even I am face these problems. Okay, best of the best institution face these problems because the only issue is that they keep receiving such case studies. Okay, and there are 7 to 8 cases to read, and it's practically not possible for any person to read such length. So the best thing is that make a group should be always a combination of good and not so good type of student, or students which are more sincere and students which are less sincere. So it should be always a heterogeneous, a mixed bag group, so you would always benefit from them. At times, what I do with them is that I give them a case to read within the class, then and there itself. I don't allow them to carry it back home. A single page case, and I give them to read it in lot, and I give them 10 minutes of time. The logic behind this, some of the faculties, they feel that no, sir, giving a case is in the class to read is a wastage of time. They would consume more time to read. My point is that we started talking about that. Case studies are simulations. So if you want to create that simulations, do make them understand that in practical life situation, there may be cases wherein your manager would hand you over a paper and ask you to read that paper within 5 minutes just before you are entering in for a board meeting or for a customer presentation. You get some new inputs. Remember, those are good exam days wherein we would be rushing for the examination, and somebody would ask him, "तूने पढ़ के आया क्या? Have you read this question?" And then we would be like, "ये syllabus में कहाँ था?" Okay, and then he would be telling us few pointers, and like in exam paper the same question appears, and we thank God and the friend who has given us points, and then we have somehow managed it. Remember those exam days? You must. This happens in practical life. Okay, that even today also, at times we are just given 5 or 10 minutes to talk about that, this is that what it is, and you have to go and present this. I'm sorry, but there is no one else. Okay, so you have to do that. So it happens in corporate life also, that you are given the pitch to the consumer, or you're just made to stand in front of the consumer. Okay, so with experience you learn how to manage the consumer. That's a different story. But if you're given a pitch to which is a page long pitch, or important pointers that you have to talk, and you keep getting pointers during your presentations also. So you have to incorporate that in your presentation. So you need to give the students this sense. See, assignments and assessments, to my understanding, should also mean that you are preparing your student for, you are not only assessing the students, which is important part of any assessment, but you're also trying to give them an insight that when you will face a real world life tomorrow, what can be the challenges that can be thrown up to you. So that can be another idea, to give them a case study within the class, not too lengthy. Okay, I am restricting myself only to one page. At times, reduce the perceptual length of the case. Okay, At times, case studies are written with a good amount of space in between the paragraphs, and the font size is bigger and things like that. So there are great margins. So reduce those margins, reduce the perceptual length, and you would find that it would be highly beneficial for you. So what can you do with them? What you can do, you can do many things onto them. At times students prompt you that what should be, what can be, what is your decision on this case. If you are giving a case, what is your decision? So you need to talk to them. As do you need to actually give them your decisions? What do you say? If the student is asking you, okay sir, what is your decision in this case, should you give them their decisions or not? Yes, Meenakshi ma'am.
Sir, I think we should give our opinion, because then this is how we can make them understand the teacher is involved in the case study. He's just not ordering us to solve some case. So I
Okay,
believe that teacher should share his or her opinion.
okay. uh Agreed. Anyone else? Anyone else on this? Okay.
Yes, sir. We should definitely share our
uh, with due respect,
Sir, excuse me, I wish to like add something more.
sure, sure, please go ahead.
While giving the opinion, our opinion, we
Yeah.
need to be very careful, because we are in a position of influencing the student. So, and the probability is high that the child will get influenced by our opinion, because teacher is thinking this way, so maybe he's correct. So I should also think her way or his way. So I think our opinion should be, if we are giving it, it should be neutral. And somehow I believe that we should engage ourselves in the conversation, maybe if not by giving the correct opinion, because this struck me just right now, that if I will give opinion to my child in one case study, the probability is high that he will think my way and will not give his or her original opinion. So this is another aspect of this.
You picked up my point, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you very much. So save yourself from, the best thing that a good teacher can do is that you have to save yourself from your influence, your students from your influence. Okay, there can be, as I said to you, there can be 10 ways of solving the similar problem. There can be creative ways of solving that this problem. So if you, there are high chances, maximum, I do agree with you, that there can be high chances of influence being created, a line of thinking or a pattern of thinking being created. So save your students from that pattern of thinking or line of thinking. And to the extent, I would go and tell this thing that at times students ask that, how should I write the answer? So give them a way to write the answer, not your way of writing the answer. I hope I'm making my point clear. So save yourself from your own, your students from your own influence. That's the biggest challenge as a teacher that we need to look in, or we need to look forward to. So coming on to the last but one part of it, uh, what can be the different sources of getting the cases? Obviously, uh, Madhurima ma'am, I would request. Okay, thank you very much. So, different sources. I would not focus on the first two. I would directly focus on the third one. How about an edited book? These days, edited books are much in, talked about thing. Uh, you can float your own book with maybe professor from, or someone from other university. So you are, and you can specifically focus on a case study mode or a case book. So I've seen, various publishers, they would publish it for you. You never know, your edited book can get a good coverage as well. So try this out, that this would be counted in your API score as well, and you would have a better case. Because many a times I feel that, most of the times I talk this to my fellow faculties, they say that, sir, we are struggling with the case studies, um, that can, that can be given to the Indian cases. So why not you bring up your own book, or maybe, two or three professors in partnership, you edit your own book, get contribution from many people, and even say 10 case studies, each length of 12, or maybe say an average length of 5 case pages would be good enough. 50 pages book, a small book of case studies. If you can increase the number of participants in the, or the authors in the book, that would be great. But still, you should think in this direction, that you need to bring up your own edited book, which is primarily a case based book. So it will be good to you also, and good for every other faculty who are being, you can propagate that book to different university libraries, and think about that thing. So think about it. You can still do help to the larger student idea. Um, if you don't have, get it soon, an educator account with Harvard Business School. It's free. Okay. There are certain conditions to be fulfilled. They check thoroughly that you are an educator with an institution. One caution, level of caution, that you know don't mention, they may refrain giving if you are pursuing a PhD, because pursuing a PhD according to them is a student idea, not an educator idea. So you may get a student access, not an educator access. So however, if you are working as a full-fledged faculty in some institution, go to Harvard Business School website, Google it, Harvard Business School educator account. They would grant you access, and then you have got access to all Ivy Leagues and other Harvard Business School case studies and case products. Some of them are paid, obviously, but otherwise also you can, access most of the most of them are free. You just have, you can get case studies on different materials. You can specifically select certain Indian cases. uh, at some point of time, Ivy League cases or Ivy school cases are generally smaller in length as compared to a Harvard case. So you can take benefit of both of them. Indian cases, if you want to specifically focus, then ICMR, some of them obviously are free, most of them are paid. uh, Case center, again, many MIT, uh, Wharton, many business schools have developed an Indian case, what should I say, an Indian case archive with them. Some of them are free. You can have a free copy of them, others are paid. So at least enjoy the free ones. You and your students can be benefited from that free one as well, if not the paid one. Boston University Library. So I'm just, just simpler examples like this. Many universities, British and UK universities have, British and sorry, US universities have actually developed, and with a focus on Indian, cases. So even you can sign up their newsletters. I'm a signee to Wharton Business School newsletter. They keep sending me. I've talked about. Still remember, in one of their supplements, they had given this case of Nokia in India. So, they have specifically talked about that, how Nokia developed strategies regarding the Indian market, and specifically the rural market. So you can find that, there can be, you can search through them, and you would find enough and good material, uh, 3 or 4 pages good material, wherein you can go and take them, if not directly as a case study, but as a case example. Okay. eGyanKosh, which is developed by the IGNOU, ResearchGate. Many other universities have given you examples, Indian and other universities. Even for that example, IIMs also give you certain free cases. And the last part I would come to of my presentation is that, why don't you develop your own case studies? So I share with you on a brief, very brief note as to how you can, you can look forward to writing your own case studies, your own experience, which is primarily unbiased. Okay. Unbiased experience. When you write your own case study, don't have a bent of mind that this is right or this is wrong. No, as a teacher, as a case, if you want to actually write a good case, or if you want to, even while teaching also a case, I always, when I teach such subjects, I make an open declaration to my students that this is not a class to discuss religion or politics. You can discuss business, we can discuss obviously politics from the framework that how does it influence decision making, but not per se any other discussions are entertained in the class. So keep that your keep your this is your personal ideas, okay, and that personal idea should not influence your businesses. Okay, so as a case writer also, your own experiences into certain situations, okay, you have gone through certain situations. Some of my cases are based on my own experiences that I have gone through in certain organization, and I have tried to present the picture without painting the picture. See, if I left an organization and so obviously there would be some problem in the organization. So I should not write a case painting the manager bad or painting the organization bad. No, I cannot tell everyone that I was good and other one was wrong, or it's the organization to blame, it's the policy to blame, it's the manager to blame. It is your perspective that is creating a blame onto them. So don't try to give your perspective only. Try to give them a story, okay, a complete story, wherein the student, let the student decide that actually whose fault was this. Okay, so if you want to write a case on a company specifically, if you want to name the company, mention the facts about the company, it's always good that you obtain a permission from the company. Before you send it for publication, send to them, get a formal approval. Most of the I'm associated with Case Focus and other case journals as a reviewer also. So it is necessary that before you get it published, you must obtain a formal permission from the organization if you're using their name, or if you're indicating their name. Most of this good case publishers, they also require that formal permission from the company or from the authors, that uh, because see, nobody would take a bearing on you. That's what I said. You have painted the organization, and tomorrow the organization comes to know that they read the case study and they would feel that you have painted them, so they can raise an objection on the publisher. So all, please make it sure, even if when you are bringing your own book, please make sure that you obtain that declaration from the author and or from the company that they don't have any issues involved into this, and you can go ahead and publish it. I'm not talking only about plagiarism or sources of that. You can you can pick up from secondary sources. ICMR does it the same way. You can pick up it from the information which is available in the public domain. So you are not trying to paint up anything, or you are not, you are not trying to give up anything. You're just trying to show them what is available in the public domain. So you have collected the facts and figures available in the public domain, and based on these facts and figures, you are just putting those facts and figures in the right place to create a case study. So this can be a combination of a primary plus secondary type of thing that you can use to develop your own case studies. And believe me, when you talk your own cases or your own developed cases in the classes, they give you a second, they give a next level of understanding your involvement with the case. You have experienced it, you have gone through it, you have interviewed the things. So believe me, that would give you and students a next level of comprehension regarding, that would bring in more clarity to the students. And as I told you, the the next benefit of this would be that it would add to your publications and it would add to your APIs. So that's all from my side. Any questions, I would be I'm available to answer that. That's all. Thank you very much. Any questions, anyone? Okay, so I believe that either I explained it so well that there are no doubts, or it was so explained that there are still no doubts. So I take it on the positive side of it. So any questions, anyone? Or if you would like to share anything, please go ahead and share. Okay, then I thank you all for your kind participation today evening. Many thanks to again to RFI, to Ajay sir, to Indra ma'am, and to Gunjan Shukla ma'am equally. Uh, and thank you everyone, to be with me uh, for this evening. Uh,
Am I audible?
Indra ma'am, so that's all from my side. Thank you everyone.
On behalf of RFI sir, Shrestha sir,
Ma'am,
thank you so much. And the lecture was amazing and very fruitful for all participants.
it's so kind of you, ma'am. It's so kind
Thank
of
you.
you. Thank you for your
Thank
kind
you
words.
so much, sir.
Thanks to everyone.
Okay. And thank yous to everyone. Have a nice evening. Everyone can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can Kendra ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Rekha, ma'am. Please go ahead. You're audible.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, I just want to ask it is possible, can you share your email ID because I'm keen to write the case studies. So I need your guidance.
Here is my email ID. I've written it in the chat box, so you can get in touch with me.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
So have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
so much, sir.